Morning. Don't know how long this will last or how good my internet is, so we'll see. I just thought you'd rather see my beautiful view, than my ugly mug. So this is what I get to see every morning. Hopefully those clouds mean more rain. We've been getting quite a bit the last couple days, so we'll wait till a few more people come on and then I got a couple cookbooks and we'll see if you guys have any questions. If I can sit down without falling on my ass today. And of course they moved everything around on this, so I have to figure out where everything is again. There we go, now you can see me. So sorry I didn't make the last live. X drives me nuts. And the COVID shot kicked my ass. I didn't hurt, I wasn't sick, not really, a little bit Saturday. But I was exhausted to the point where I slept 18 hours yesterday. So, if you have any questions, go ahead, shoot. Otherwise, I will just hang out for a little bit while we have coffee or... Oh, we're dropping like flies. I wonder if it's me or you. Morning. Thank you, Linda. It really is. Here, I'll turn it around so you can see it instead of me. Yeah, I have mountains on 3 sides, and then the back I have a forest. Of those of you who's on, where's everybody from? Hopefully we'll have a nice cool week. It's been really nice, not very hot so far this week, so that's been really nice. Oh, there goes my raven. They let me know when there's anything in the woods, so they get extra eggs. I'll have to set that up one morning so you guys can, I'll put their eggs out and you guys can watch them come in and get the eggs. And it's really helpful because here I am by myself. When I hear them start squawking, I know I need to go check the animals. The Hummers have been really quiet the last couple days. I've been married more than once, and my first ex was from Kansas. And Paris, Texas. Hi, Jeannie. I didn't like it at all. It was just so flat. And his mother didn't like the mountains. She said that made her feel claustrophobic. So it was a win-win. We never had to run into each other. I have family, I think, near Paris, Texas. They live, I don't know, is Paris in East Texas? That's where my mom's family comes from. But later on today, what I'm waiting on is a tripod for my phone. Since I'm having issues with my big camera getting things downloaded, it seems to download easier from my phone. So I had to order a taller tripod. And later today, I'm going to go live in the homesteading group. And we're going to work on I'm going to show you how to make a wet felted rug. And I'm going to try to do it in a little kid's swimming pool. I'm hoping to use it as a resist, so I'll get a nice round circle. And you could make it as thick or as thin as you wanted, because you'll have the sides of the pool to help hold all your wool in. Jeannie, my family is from, I think it's, I don't know, it's Canton, near Dallas, I think. I don't know. I've never been there, so I can't say where it's at, not really. I don't even look at it on a map very often. We had a sheep out this morning, so me and the corgis, just before the live, we had to go chase her down. As you can see, we're starting to run out of pasture. It's been so dry that the pasture's getting pretty thin. I'm gonna go this evening and buy a couple round bales. Hi, Donna. So that I can put one out for them and then one out for the cows and the horses. And it's last year's hay, but it'll be fine because as hay ages, it loses nutrition. But there's enough grass out there that they're getting their nutrition. And if you look at this field right here, tomorrow I think I'm going to go buy railroad ties to put in all the corner posts, and hopefully this weekend I have 2 sides of wire that needs to go up, and then everybody will be moved over there for a few weeks and let this other pasture here recover. And they also help with weed control and actually fertilizing. So this is my hay field, so we'll put them in there for a couple years to help bring back the hay field to where it was. Oh, so it's not too far from you. Some live in Canton, some live in Brownsboro, Jeannie. Oh. And then the rest of my family, I don't know. I don't know who my father was. So I have the only relatives that I can find. I did one of those ancestry things. And the only relatives I can find on, I guess, my dad's side live in Scotland and Ireland, and there was only 3 people that did it. So I'm going to assume that my dad was a foreigner because all there is people on my mom's side, and then those 2 people, and one of them is like a second cousin, so that's pretty close relations. Anybody have any questions? Kind of hanging out, hoping a few people would show up, but it's not looking like we're going to get too many today, which is fine because this is mostly, I want to see you guys, and I also want to practice uploading. I don't even know if I can do this, upload the live, or how it'll turn out onto YouTube. And I want to thank you guys so much for the YouTube follows. According to the people that are helping me with this, once I get to 1,000 people and like 40,000 minutes of viewing, I'll start making money. I think maybe the viewing time might be off. I don't know, honestly. This is all brand new to me. So if you want to, we can go ahead and start with a couple of the, oops, sorry, my sweatshirt from yesterday, cookbooks. If you wonder why I don't do this in the house, my house is always a mess. And when you have this view, why would you want to be inside? Honestly. So I'm going to switch to the cookbooks, and these are some of my bargain bins, and then I have a Amish canning book that I thought the canning group might enjoy looking at. So my first one, let's switch it over to the, gotta put my glasses on because I'm blind. Okay. Oh, oops, sorry. So I screwed up. God, I gotta get this shit straight. All right, so the first one is called Big Love, Big Food. And this is from a restaurant in Seattle called Wandering Goose. Now, I think it's related to a restaurant that's in Spokane called The Wandering Table. Not positive on that, so don't quote me. But their food was to die for. That's why when I saw that, I was like, I bet they're related, because I knew that chef had come from over there. They do small, I don't know what they're called. You get single servings, but you get like 6 or 8 single servings at a meal. So the book itself, it is beautiful. I've done a couple of recipes. These were wonderful. These date, bacon, and biscuits. Let's see. Maple, bacon, date, biscuits. They were to die for. I could just live on those. And this is a little new agey kind of thing. But they have some really nice, like this is a Wandering Goose granola. It's really good. And I've used quite a bit of these, of the recipes in here. And then some not so much. Like this is something that I do. It's whipped honey butter. When I make butter and I have extra honey, I usually mix the two of them. So good. I also do other flavored honeys, or flavored honeys. I do flavored honeys too, but the butter's garlic, and then one of my favorites for holidays is cranberry butter. That's so good. But if you look through, a lot of these books, surprisingly or not, have really good recipes. Or really good. This one has jam. And you never know where you're going to find recipes to can. And a couple of these are really good. And I really enjoy finding things like this. Because when I bought this book, I did not expect to find some of the best jams. I have this tomato apricot jam. I thought it would be disgusting. It was really good. I only did a couple jars of it, but it turned out amazing. So that's that one. And again, this came from a Walmart bargain bin, and it is called Big Food, Big Love, Down Home Southern Cooking of Full of Heart from Seattle's Wandering Goose. So let's go ahead and look at this Amish cooking book. Now, I don't know how many of you have these. Sorry, the sun is in a weird spot this morning. And this one, I really like this one. I would urge any of you that are into serious canning. I know lots of us, it's just me, so I don't do huge amounts anymore. Well, I probably do more than most people, but not like I used to. I've kind of slowed down on it. But this one has... Oh, I like that it has, like I said, has the history of... History, sorry. The stupid sun is just... There we go. History of canning. They're really good. And it talks about things you need. Here's some information about Taddlers. And I just... all in all, really enjoy these books because not only are they have great information, the way they're set up is really nice. And they're, I swear. All right, at least maybe you can see it. All kinds of interesting things that I wouldn't make normally, and I was like, oh, that's how that's made. It was great. I enjoyed it. So this particular one is the Amish Canning Cookbook, Plain and Simple Living at its Homemade Best by Georgia Barraza. I'm not sure how to pronounce them. But, and I know a lot of you'd probably, my coffee there, probably have seen this TV show. I hadn't. I got the book before I saw the TV show. It's from the people who were in Alaska. I loved how the front of the book was. That's what caught me. And my puppy, he decided that he thought he should be able to chew on it, but it still has lots of good stuff in it. And a lot of it is, she does a lot of foraging in this book and shows you what to do. I'm sure people were looking for the strawberry rhubarb the other day. Here's one for a crisp and some rhubarb sauce. And there's the chev. I'm getting ready to start making some chev. The babies are almost ready to be weaned. But they have nice stories and nice pictures of her family, and I just really enjoyed this one. Actually, I'm one of those weird people that just likes to look at cookbooks too. Next time we do this, I am going to do the book that started me canning. taught me to cook, made me love food. And it's a, I'm sure all of you, if you don't have it, your mother had it, the joy of cooking. Because as a kid, you know, when my generation were kids, we didn't have the internet. Me too, Donna. Hi, Ashley from Ben Wheeler. Never heard of that one. We didn't have the internet. So when you were bored, you had to find something to do. And probably about 10 or 12, I started wanting to cook on my own. And in fact, my very first completely on my own item I cooked, besides, you know, like eggs and toasted cheese and stuff like that, was bourbon apple dumplings. And I had a great mom. She was so she let me do the whole bourbon and everything. She showed me how you set it on fire. It was the coolest thing in the world. And it's not really surprising that I love food so much, because she was so willing to let me experiment, and I'm sure lied about how things tasted. but it taught me to enjoy cooking and enjoy eating, and she was a huge influence on my life. As I'm sure many of you have known, my farm is named after her farm. She raised Scotch Highlander cattle instead of the sheep, but she was an avid crocheter. Probably about 90% of the town of Ione, where I live, have one of her Afghans. She would crochet Afghans for people. Just buy me the yarn and I'll do it for you. So she had something to do. And she could knock one of those big, at least a double, for a double bed Afghan out in no time at all. She was so fast, it was incredible. I will never be that good. I have too many other things going on to ever be that good. I'm sorry, Donna. I hate dishes. I hate dishes then. It was the bane of my existence as a teenager, because I had to wash dishes with my little sister. And still to this day, me and my little sister do not get along. But yeah, like I said, she is very dear to my heart, because she taught me everything I know and set me on this path, whether she realized it or not, that this would be my life because of her. And I collect cookbooks too, and I just, that's one thing that kids, they know they can always get me that I'll love, is some sort of book, a cookbook. I love nonfiction. I love fiction, urban fantasy books. One of my favorites, and I'm listening to it on audiobook right now, is The Dresden Files by Jim Butcher. Love, love, love. My brother married his wife very young. They got pregnant, and she came from a rather privileged home where she didn't have to cook and didn't have to clean. So at 17, she had no clue, none whatsoever. She seriously didn't know how to work the stove. And my brother had to teach her how to cook. And she's become quite the gourmet. It was like 40 years ago, but it was always a joke that Dawn had no clue how to cook and that my brother had to teach her. And it passed on to my kids, because I think in both of my boys' relationships, I think they do most of the cooking. And I'm very proud of that. I am very proud that I instilled the love of cooking to all my kids. It's just, if you love to cook, it's not such a task. So that's where lots of this stuff came from, was that my mom let me experiment. And so here I am, experimenting. Anybody else have questions or anything? See, that's something that my mom taught me too, is I'm a crappy cleaner. I'll admit it. I'd rather clean the barn than clean the house. But she taught me to cook my own way. And I use recipes as a guide, and I don't worry about not having something. We just try something else. Oh, you're out of garlic salt. Okay, we will do, like me, maybe out of garlic. That'd be funny, but you know what I'm saying. You just throw something else in, and you know, if it's good, it's good. If it's not, we move on to the next one. You know what I wish they had on here, and they don't? I'm gonna have to do something to, is a timer. Because there's, after a certain point, it takes forever to load. So next time I'm gonna remember to bring a timer out so that I can set it up so we know how long we're... Exactly, Donna, because I have never seen a recipe I didn't tweak, ever. And lots of times I just, let's see, what do we have? Refrigerator soup, anything, throw it in, this needs to go in, that needs to, oh look, the Hummers are back. Wonder if I can get down there and get on him. Nope. That's the one bad thing about my phone. It doesn't have very good telephoto. Is that it? Distance? All right. Oh, hey, we got 11 people. Hi, everybody. Everyone say hi. I'd love to hear where you're from and what you're up to today. Later on today, I'm waiting on a... The word eludes me again. Oh, I hate that when that happens. The thing to hold my camera. Oh my, tripod, there it is. Hi, Meg. I used to live in Arizona. I lived in Apache Junction, and then I lived way up in the Monumental Mountains in Overgard. And I heard a few years ago, Overgard, the whole town burnt down. I have no idea if they rebuilt it or not. Oh, Michigan. Never been to Michigan. Oh, fun. Today we were really lucky today. We have a nice cool breeze. And tomorrow we're supposed to have a storm. We're supposed to bring more rain, which we so desperately need over here. Hi, Paula. What part of Minnesota are you from? Massachusetts. Now, I had a layover in Massachusetts with one of my flights overseas while I was in the Air Force. Alabama. I have been to Alabama thanks to the Air Force, but just passing through. Hi, Daniel. How are you today? We have a lot of new people. I'll go ahead and switch back so you can see my beautiful view. I am, Paula, I am about 25 miles from the BC American border. And used to go up there all the time, but since all the stupid pandemic shit, I haven't been up. I love going up. I love Canada. All right, let's switch around so you guys can see the view. I'll get up so you don't have to look through my... Oh. Many of you might have seen the story about the bee. My hips are a little sore today. I must have hit both of them. I'm getting ready to move some out too. I had a skunk, Leanne. I had a skunk last night, and the corgis did a good job of not getting sprayed, but getting rid of him. And it was, excuse me, it was my fault. I forgot to get the eggs yesterday, and I'm sure he was going after my eggs. Mostly, they don't bother us too much, but so my porch doesn't have a roof yet, so I have this thing to cut the sun down. It's not too bad, but that's what that is. Oops, I can dunk myself with hummingbird juice. We'll scroll down, see, here's a few of the sheep. Yes, Paula, I'm really, really blessed with my view. Yeah, shade cloth. I have lupus, so I can't get too much sun, but I love to be outside. So until I can finish the roof, I also have my porch is, this part of my porch is 10 by 12. And so I have the shade, and then I also take a tarp and put a tarp over the shade. Well, Daniel, thank you very much, and thank your son for his service. I was a mobile radar operator, and I was stationed in Germany for a while, and I lucked out. We have a unit here in Washington State, so I was only 2 hours from home. But because we were a mobile combat unit, we had a lot of deployments. So when I was a kid, that's what I did. And until I got pregnant and could no longer be worldwide mobile. So then they gave me a medical discharge. Thank you, Angela. I'm checking for any questions that I might have missed. So, any questions or any stories? Anything you'd like to know about me personally? My voice. I think I sound like a third grader. Oh, me too. On this mountain up here, I don't think it's there anymore, but years ago, a bunch of snowmobilers got together and built a cord cabin, and we used it as a warming center for when we went snowmobiling up there. It was fun once or twice, but like I said, I have lupus, so I'm very sensitive to the changing of temperatures. So it just wasn't for me. But I know that they used that cabin for years as a warming center when they did snowmobile trips up there. How do I keep up with the lupus? That's why I have the farm, because it's something that if it doesn't get done, it's not the end of the world. And I don't have a boss. It's really hard because lupus, you get flares. And some days I'm great, and some days I'm only at 50%. So that's why things take me so long. And the sheep and the goats and the cows are understanding that if they don't get fed at 5 o'clock in the morning, that if it takes me till 3 o'clock in the afternoon, they're okay with that. And so I can go as fast or as slow as I want. And that's how come you don't see tons of progress, because for one, it's just me, and another, I have to go slow. The COVID shot kicked my ass. I didn't feel sick. I had a fever on Saturday, but I feel normal. I always have fever, so that wasn't unusual. But I slept for 18 hours yesterday. After the incident with the bee, I came in, and after I finished my evening chores, I came in and I sat down on the couch. Oh, it was like huge, just giant weight fell on me. I was so tired. And I went, well, why are you still up? Your chores are done. There's nothing to do. Go lay down, you fool. And I woke up. My daughter called me at 8 o'clock, and I talked to her for a little bit and got some food in me. I went to sleep at 5. So I was up for about 45 minutes at 8 and went right back to sleep. And I slept till 7 o'clock this morning. But I did, Daniel, I had super sneaky stuff too. I had the choice of changing fields. I could have gone into secret sneaky spy stuff because I had a very high clearance. But doing that, I would have had to give my mom custody of my daughter. And as much as I love my mom and she was my hero, she was with my stepdad at the time, and he was a worthless pile of cow dung. Don't you do it, Scotia. Have a sheep thinking about getting out. Oh, that little bitch. She's getting out. Oh. Sorry. And I just couldn't do it. I couldn't give up custody of my daughter. It's not necessarily custody, but she had to have guardianship of her, because being combat unit, I could be called out at any minute. And as a single mom. Bye, Daniel. Have a good day. Thanks, Mark. Sorry that things aren't showing up for you. We've just been kind of and I really appreciate that, and I have a hard time. I'm just a hot mess, so I have a hard time believing I could be anybody's hero, and that's the truth. The support you guys have given me, especially in the last week, has totally blown me away, and I don't even know what to say. You guys are wonderful, and you've made me cry I don't know how many times this week. I appreciate you so much, because, believe it or not, you guys have gotten me through some pretty rough times. When the day my barn burnt, I think I'd have just given up. Every time I was cleaning up and building pens to get everybody safe, I'd come back in and there'd be more kind words from you guys. And it was just, I couldn't have got through that day without you guys. And I appreciate it so much. As you see, it's still hard. And I feel like such a baby because it still reduces me to tears. But you guys got me through it, and I appreciate it. And that's why I work so hard. That's why I'm doing this YouTube stuff. It's for you guys. So I want to give back what you gave to me last year. Hi, Tiffany. Sorry for my weepiness. So I said this a couple times, and I'll say it again for anybody new. Sorry. This afternoon, I'm waiting for a tripod for my phone, because it seemed to be easier to upload videos from my phone than from my camera. Thank you, Kimberly. I don't necessarily feel amazing, but thank you. It's wonderful. Your guys' support is wonderful. That's going to make me cry again. Thank you, Donna. But this afternoon, we're going to try actual doing something, not me just running my mouth. Thank you, Tiffany. We're going to do see if I can at least start a felted rug so you guys can see how it's done. It might have to come in segments because wet felting takes a while. And basically, I'll give you the basic rundown of it. And it might be this evening or it might be tomorrow afternoon. It depends on when my tripod gets here. That's what I'm waiting on. And what it is you take tulle, you know, the fabric tulle, and you use that as, it's called a resist. And you lay, what I'm going to do is I lay the tulle down in the swimming pool. And then I take and I layer wool on top of it, and you do it opposite directions. So when you're laying the wool down, you have one right, one left, back and forth, so that none of this wool is facing the same, every layer is, facing another direction. And then you take, I use olive oil soap. It's a special olive oil soap made for felting, and warm water. And you put another piece of tulle over the top of the wool, and you spray it down, and it's just a matter of rubbing the wool. The friction creates, see, wool is, oh, there's my kitty cat. That's Ellie. Can you say hi, Ellie? You can come say hi? Wool underneath a microscope, a single strand, looks like kind of like a fish hook. Sometimes it's the type of wool, Donna, that you're allergic to, and it may not be that you're allergic to the wool, it's that you're allergic to the lanolin in the wool. Bye, Paula. Have a good day. But the wool looks like fish hooks. So the more you agitate the wool, the more the fish hooks catch. And as you rub it, it pulls it in tighter and tighter and tighter. And you have to change the pH level. Excuse me. Allergies are crazy today. You change the pH level in the wool, and it makes the fish hooks open up more. So you agitate it back and forth, and the hooks catch and catch and catch. You can actually make a watertight vessel out of wool. And maybe as the year progresses, we can make a small one, and you guys can see. Once you have it as tight as you can get it, you can take like the bottom and dip it into a wax. Probably beeswax is what they probably used, and it holds water. So you could actually make a water jug for transporting water out of wool and wax. So maybe we can try something like that later on and see how. I've done it but I've never done it on purpose to make a water jug. But maybe we can see what we can come up, see if we can figure out how to make one with a you know, like those screw top lids that they put on the canteens, the soft canteens. Maybe we can see if we can figure that out. I like to do that. I like to have something and figure out how to make it myself. Not that I need to know how to make it or that I would ever use it, but I know how. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna hit it. Got some watering to do and some poop to move. I use the goat poop from their field on top of my vegetables, and it helps keep the weeds down, and also fertilizes and keeps, holds the moisture in. So we'll go for today. We'll see how long it takes to upload this to Facebook and then onto the YouTube. So check back on the YouTube channel today. See if I was a success or a failure. I appreciate you guys' patience with me, and I appreciate all the support that you guys are giving to the YouTube channel. I'm working as fast as I can to get the outdoor kitchen up so that we can, it's gonna look like, here, turn it around. It's gonna look like one of those little sheds, and I think it's gonna go right there in that empty spot. And we're gonna set up a whole little kitchen area. Thank you, Janet. I hope you have a wonderful day too. You too, Angela. Remember later today on homesteading, if you want to stop in and see how the rug is going. Like I said, it'll probably be a several day event because it takes a lot of work, a lot of hours of scrubbing. And all of this hopefully will be uploaded to the YouTube channel so you can go back and check on stuff. It won't all be talk like this, but this is me learning. So thank you so much for your patience, and I will see you guys later. Y'all have a wonderful day.